Alright, so we're just on my lunch break. Interesting, if you look at the texture on the shield, it's a much higher quality texture. That must be the updated HD models. Um, I wonder if there's like any Turtle WoW areas to go to that I haven't, that are like lower level that are brand new, because I don't really know. But we got Project Epoch. What I meant to say is we have Ambershire in 4 days and 22 hours, which of course I'm very interested in that launch. See what it's like. You gotta admit, like the area, like I'm going the wrong way. The graphics look way better with the HD packs. I can tell that the tree textures are better quality. The ground textures are better quality. Like I said, the texture on my shield is even better quality. So that's cool. I don't know why I just attacked a squirrel or something. Am I actually an herbalist? I am. I don't remember how you get a turtle mount in Turtle WoW, like the little turtles that people ride around on. I'll have to like figure that out again. Hey, what's up, Cerebrus? Well, I'm using the HD models, but I'm not using all of the HD models. I mean, you can see the shield has definitely has a different model than you would a texture than you would normally see, and of course you can see the ground here is much nicer looking. Epoch hype? Are you joking? I'm not really hyped for Epoch. Is it level 8 or 10? I received the pet. Nagas in 1920. Oh, okay. So it sends you to Zormstrand. I remember that. Okay, yeah. I can, now you kind of jogged my memory a little bit. I do remember doing that. That they were the Nagas at over by the Black Fathom depths. I wanted to take a look at the Paladin tree. I'm not sure if I really looked at the Paladin, like one point. Have we really looked at that yet? I think we did. Let's see. Actually, bookmarks. Let's get rid of this one. Delete. Let's, oh my god, get rid of this stupid pet. This pet was like the worst purchase ever, Murky, because he never shuts up. Like, he never shuts up. It's so annoying. Don't ever buy the Murky pet, because he's just way too annoying. You're not hyped for Epoch? Yeah, I'm not really hyped for Epoch anymore. I mean, when it comes out, like, I'm sure I'll play it, but I'm not hyped like I was, because I don't like Ascension. I don't really like Ascension WoW. I mean, I don't know the people that run it, but I don't really like Ascension. And I don't really care for what K-Toad, some of the things he said, and I'm not really on board with. I mean, I understand what they're doing, but I'm not really. I'm just kind of like meh. It's just like meh. You know what I mean? So, but it's one of those things that if it comes out and it's really good, and people are talking about how great it is, and people are streaming the content, and it looks great, of course I'll play it. I mean, you don't want to miss out on something if it's fun. So I'm definitely going to play it when it comes out. I'll play it. And we'll test it out. And I liked what I saw. I mean, I always liked what what Project Epoch was doing. And again, the 3.3.5a client is a huge deal. So I just wish I didn't have to play different versions of WoW. I'm so tired of bouncing around between different versions of WoW. I just want to have one version of WoW that I like, and I just want to play it. That's it. That's all I want. I want one version that I can really sink my teeth into and just play with friends and have fun. That's all I want. I'm so tired of jumping from one version to the next, like, all the time. Hey Biggie, it's just so frustrating. It's like I'm so tired of that. There's a guy mowing outside my window and it's really loud, so I apologize. I don't really know what to say because we don't know how pay to win it's going to be. We don't know what's going to happen. So it's one of those things where we just have to play it and see if it's fun. And if it's fun, play it. I think. Oh my god, this person mowing outside my yard is so loud. They're not mowing, they're using a trimmer. But I think I'll definitely just play both. I'll play Project Epoch and I'll play Turtle WoW. I'll play on Ambershire. So I'm going to play both. And we'll just get the best of both worlds. If they're both fun, we'll play them both. Well, that's an easy choice, Biggie. I'm Ambershire, man. Ambershire comes out this weekend, this Sunday. I'm 100% playing on that. I'm just hoping that not too many of the... I'm just hoping that not too many of the asshats from the Project Epoch community are going to play on that server. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, you don't have much longer to wait. Isn't it? There isn't much longer to wait. But yeah, I know what you mean. I'm the same way. It's like I'm playing this just on my lunch break, so just for fun. But it kind of sucks because I'd rather be playing, Yeah, I don't trust Ascension. So, well, all their products revolve around heavy monetization and heavy they revolve a lot around getting your money basically. A lot of their stuff is built and marketed in a way to try to get you to spend money. So, what's this other quest? Obviously not that one. Remember. There we go. Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens when. Oh, I wanted to look at the talent calculator though. Actually, I probably shouldn't stand here though. I think I'm hardcore, so standing here AFK right where these guys spawn probably is not a good idea. But just I'm using a shader. Using reshade, so like this is what the game would normally look like. Yeah, no problem. I'm just using reshade. We're almost level, what, 10? All right, here's a good spot. So, all right, I wanted to look at the paladin talents. Now we talked about, I think we looked at doing a holy build, but I think that was before I looked at the 1.18. So I wanted to try out a holy build because it looks really interesting. Increase your intellect. Casting Judgment reduces the casting time of your next holy light by 1 second. How long is holy light? Is it 2 seconds? It's 2.5. So that can get down to a 1.5 second cast, which is pretty fast. Here's the damage done by your Seal of Righteousness. Okay, that's nice. But would we be using Seal of Righteousness is the question. Yeah, because Seal Command's way too far. They moved Seal Command like down, which kind of sucks really, to be honest. Use your flashlight and holy light spells, chance to not lose casting damage. Reduce the light damage done by party members. Don't need that. Increase your chance to resist fear and disorient effects. Increase the amount healed by your holy light flash. Increase the amount healed by your holy light, flash of light, and holy shock spells by quite a bit. Maybe I was thinking, maybe it was the Project Epoch. You know what? It might have been Project Epoch. Because this isn't looking like what I remembered. Yeah, it was the Project Epoch tree. So I think one of the things about Project Epoch that was really appealing was their talent. Their talent trees are way better than Turtle WoW's because, well, you have more points. That's one thing, right? You're still 1 to 60, but you've got more talent points to work with. So you have a little bit more flexibility, and their talent trees have a lot more. I think there's just more flexibility built into them. So I think that's one of the biggest appealing factors of Project Epoch is I do think the talent trees are quite a bit better. I mean, you look at this Project Epoch talent tree, and you start reading through these talents, they're really cool, you know? Compared to like the 1.18, you know? I mean, look at the difference. Look at all these different abilities. And then you look at this one, this is, yeah. Let's take a look at the tree anyway. After getting critical hit effect from your flash of light, you regain mana. These are all just healing stuff. Increase the healing power of your by a percentage of your armor. So yeah, so this doesn't look good. I don't think I'll be if I do a paladin on Turtle, we won't be rolling holy, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the protection tree. So normally I would just do benediction. We would go into redoubt, precision, 1 point here. Get shield. Ooh, Blessing of Sanctuary. I'm only, what level am I? Level 20. So Blessing of Sanctuary feels like it's further up. Like easier to get to. I think normally it's one level down. Yeah, because normally improved Hammer of Justice is here. So I think they flip-flopped Hammer of Justice and Blessing of Sanctuary. What does Hand of Reckoning even do? It says increase your chance to hit with Hand of Reckoning. That means Hand of Reckoning must do damage. Sort of WoW Paladin abilities. Weird. I know it's a taunt, but in some versions of WoW, if you taunt a target that isn't already aggro to you, it does damage. In some versions of WoW, it does damage. So I wasn't sure if they did that here, but they didn't. It just says taunts the target. But I mean, why would I put talent points into something that improves my chance to hit with hand? I mean, how often do you miss with Hand of Reckoning? Right? Like, how often do you miss with Hand of Reckoning? I don't ever really remember missing with Hand of Reckoning that much. So that's a little... That's a really interesting... Not something I would have thought to add to the talent trees, to be honest. Yeah. Unless they adjusted the hit rating required. If they adjusted the hit rating required, maybe. You know? But it's like, that. Even that seems stupid. Why adjust it so that it's harder to land spells just so you can throw in a talent to make your taunt land? That just seems like such a waste of a mechanic. Right? Because it's not really... It's not exciting. It's not sexy. I mean, stuff that you should put in the talent tree should be stuff that's interesting and gives like flexibility. This doesn't give any. This isn't interesting. It doesn't give flexibility. It's just, oh, let's just make sure our taunt doesn't get resisted or that it misses. You know, so like, it's really in my mind that's a completely wasted slot. Yeah, I don't like that at all, to be honest. Anticipation. Increase your defense skill by 7. So 20. If it's like a regular vanilla WoW, I mean, it takes, what is it? It takes 25 defense for 1% dodge, parry. I think is it 25? I gotta look at the regular talent tree. Yeah, so here, it's 10. Yeah, it's 25. You need 25 defense. You need 25 defense to gain 1% dodge, 1% parry, and 1% block. So 20 doesn't even give you 1%. So that's why I've always thought anticipation is kind of not that great. It's still good, but not amazing. Now, Righteous Defense. When Righteous Fury is activated, you take 10% reduced. Now that's pretty crazy. What's interesting about this is now if you want to build like a Protection Paladin AoE leveling build, you kind of want this. But to get to this, you've got to put 3 points in to improve Righteous Fury, which is kind of a waste if you're just solo leveling, right? You're putting 3 points into something that really doesn't help your solo AoE leveling. So again, I question this. Like, to me, these shouldn't be linked. Like, I would just unlink these two. And the reason I would do that is because why nerf someone from wanting to like do AoE leveling? Why prevent them? You know what I mean? To me, I would just unlink these. I would get rid of this and I would unlink these. Best case scenario is great. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, if they launch Project Epoch as with the way it's supposed to be, right, without Ascension having any kind of influence, and if K-Totes gets off his high horse and just tries to create a fun project which is his vision, and they run on Ascension servers and which enable the servers to run really well, then yeah, that's the best case scenario. Could be great for Epoch. I was just looking at the Project Epoch talent trees, and they're so much more exciting than Turtle WoW. Like, if you look at the Project Epoch talent calculator, I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot more interesting than like. So let's say I want to do like a Paladin in Project Epoch. The Holy Tree for Paladins in Project Epoch look really interesting. Like, and I've never in my entire life, and I've played thousands and thousands of hours on Paladin, but I've never played a Holy Paladin because I love priests. So if I'm gonna play a Holy Paladin and be a healer, why bother doing that when I'd rather do a priest? I just like priests better, right? But these talents here for Holy look so interesting. Like I was like just drooling at the mouth. You know, I mean, I was like really wanting to get into this. It was because I was going to level a hunter on Epoch first, but when I looked at the holy talents, it made me want to level a paladin first. So when you look at these talents, you're saying, okay, we're going to go divine intellect, right? Increase the damage done to your seal, your judgment. But then you've got this. These aren't like amazing, so we'll probably go with this. Now the other thing that's interesting is you can get seal of command right here, right? You still get seal of command very quickly. Whereas on the project, on Turtle WoW, you can't. It's like way down here. So then we're going to go into increase the radius of your auras. We don't really necessarily need that. Increase the amount healed by your Holy Light Flashlight. It gives a target. Don't really need. Increase the chance you resist. Yes, we do want this. I'm thinking about building this like a PvP build. Like what kind of a holy PvP build could we create for Project Epoch, right? So this is kind of what I was theory crafting. So we're going to have that. Then we're probably going to go... I mean, if we went... What is it if we go all the way? 70% chance? 70%? I can't remember. I actually created a build for this. I wonder if I put it in my Discord. Let me check really quick so I don't have to like re-remember what I did, but I probably didn't. Go. No, see, I have two builds that I had already ready for Project Epoch. I had a prop build and I had a Holy Ret build. Oh, wait. I did have a Holy Ret build. Oh, but it's gone. The talents, look, they didn't load the talents. No, it didn't load them. Look, it didn't load them. Great. What's the point of saving it if it doesn't retain it? Ah, what a bummer. All right, I guess we'll have to do it again. We'll have to figure it out again. Can I please say my add-ons, not the UI scan, your panels? No, it's not bartender. It's actually Shagu tweaks. Let me log out. It's not. I mean, it looks like bartender, right? Because bartender would create this kind of minimalistic bar, but it's actually not bartender. Being able to level PvPs while you're playing. Yeah, I think leveling on PvP is super exciting, and I love battlegrounds too. So Turtle WoW lets you do that too, though, Logan. Logan and Turtle WoW you can level if you want to do if you like battlegrounds. You can just do battlegrounds in Turtle WoW and level because you get tons of experience. Flip war mode on, go to battlegrounds, you're going to get tons of experience. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. So my add-ons are better character stats, classic snowfall, which is just snowfall key press. Cool line is that little bar that just shows my cooldowns. Mixed scrolling battle text is my scrolling combat text. Move anything that allows me to move stuff around the screen. No toggle just means that I can spam my wand. I can spam auto shot, auto attack without it stopping my attacking. OCB is a casting bar replacement. Omni CC shows the cooldown numbers. So my icons. Ring menu is a Skyrim style, just a little ring menu that pops up that I can put stuff on. Super API, I need to bypass Turtle WoW's launcher so that I can use reshade. Super macros so I can create bigger, longer macros. And PF Quest is just, PF Quest Turtle WoW DB, and PF Quest just gives you the quest helper for Turtle WoW. And then Shagu Plates gives the enemy nameplates. Shagu DPS is just the Shagu's DPS meter. And then Shagu Tweaks is what you're looking for. Sela. Shagu Tweaks is what allows me to shrink down the bar, the action bar, and I'll show you like where that shows up at. So like if it shows up in your main menu. You go to main menu and anything gets added called advanced options. You go into advanced options, there's a checkbox right here that just says reduce action bar size. So if I uncheck that, yeah, no problem. If I uncheck that, it'll put them back the way they normally are. So advanced innovation. It's very much like bartenders though. Bartenders one action bar only is the same type of thing. So, but there's a ton of stuff in Shagu Tweaks. Shagu Tweaks is a must in my opinion if you're playing Turtle WoW. It's got a lot of cool stuff. So, but if you go back and look at the Project Epoch, so I really was excited about this Holy tree, right? So let's say I go into Holy, and I grab gives a target lay on hand spell bonus to armor, In addition, the cooldown for your lay on spell is reduced by 10 minutes. So this reduces the cooldown of lay on hands by 20. I don't know. I think that's kind of a waste. Increase your total strength. Increase chance to resist fear. Yeah, we're trying to do like a PvP build here. So increases the radius of your auras. Don't really need that. Increase the amount healed by your holy light, flash of light. At this point, sure, why not? Improve blessing. Increases the effect of your blessing wisdom. I think that's good. When the holy light, flashlight, holy shock spells heal a target to full health, 3, and it just basically bleeds over and heals other people. Could be good for battlegrounds, but for solo, like out in the world, not really necessary. After getting critical effect from your flashlight, holy light, shock spell, you have 20% chance. So this is just going to give you, lets you gain mana. Again, not, but it does, you do need it because it ties into divine favor. So we're going to grab this. Because we want divine favor, when activate, use your next flashlight, holy light, holy shock spell, 100% critical strike, critical effect chance. So we need that. Increase critical effect chance of your holy light, seal of light, and reduces threat. Judgment, holy light, seal of light, and judgment of light. So we definitely probably going to want this. Increase critical effect chance. We definitely want this. Increase your resistance to curse and disease effects. Maybe. Reduce the mana cost of cleanse. Yeah, we definitely want this. Use your light spell. There's a chance to reduce the cast time of your next. Yes, we want this. Holy shock. Yes. All attacks against you have a chance to cause half damage, and your resistance are increased. Yes, give me that. Increase your spell damage, yep. And then increase the casting speed of all paladin spells by 50% for 15 seconds. Causes forbearance. I don't know about this divine illumination. It's like increase the casting speed of all of your spells by 50% for 15 seconds. It's kind of like, priests. What is it called on a priest when you cast that spell that increases your casting speed? It's kind of like that, but it also throws your divine shield, divine protection, and protection into cooldown. So anyways, we still have how many talents? We still have 16. So what I'm saying is with this build, you can still go over here, grab this. You can still grab condition, grab this. I mean, you could still do all of this. And then you don't need improved seal of righteousness anymore. So we would want to reset this. We grab this. And what did I have? Healing. One talent point left. I still have to play. I still play around there, but there was a build that I came up with that I thought was good. You barely got any XP intro. The only BGs were 60 that were popped. We'll see. We don't know how it's going to be, and we'll see. Where is the... I hate it when I don't put stuff in the channel. Shit. I can't find what I'm looking for. Anyways, but they made changes to the way the PvP works in Turtle WoW. Here it is. So when you have war mode on, like if you win, you get 4.5% XP on your, you get 4.5% of your level. But if you have war mode on, you get 5.4. So if you win a Warsung Gulch, I mean, you're getting like a 10th of your level. One problem is that how long is it going to take to do Warsung Gulch, right? So I don't know. So yeah, it depends. A lot depends on how long it takes to get into these battlegrounds and how long the battlegrounds last. So yeah, but no problem, Sela. Weird stream. Oh, I was just on a lunch break, Daniel. I'm just on a lunch break. You guys need to read the stream descriptions. Lunch stream. I'm just chilling on my lunch break. But thank you. But this is the Project Epoch talent calculator. So let's say we did this. Increases, no. Yes. This. Increase your resistance, yes. Don't need that. Increase critical faction, yes. 13 points left. Increase your spell damage and healing. Use the Holy Light spell, 30% chance to reach the casting time. Increase your spell damage. Yeah, so this is the build. So this build here, I think, would be really interesting for PvP as a paladin. So you basically, you've got Seal of Command. So you could weapon swap with this build too, right? It's kind of like a Preg Paladin, sort of. Like you could. This is like a Preg Paladin on Wrath of the Lich King, but you basically can go to a two-hand weapon and use Seal of Command to do some pretty good damage, right? Your crit's going to be pretty good because you're going to judge your target with Seal of Crusader, right? And all attacks made against someone who's judged with Seal of Crusader have an additional 3% chance to crit. So you've got 8% chance to crit against targets that have Seal of Crusader on them. 8% increased crit. And then, if you get into trouble, you can swap into your sword and shield. And you've got really strong healing abilities, right? Where's the one I'm looking for? This one. You got Light's Grace, so it gives your Holy Light spell a 100% chance to reduce the cast time of your next Holy Light spell. So the only thing is you're going to have to, to try to squeeze these Holy Light spells in the middle of combat when someone's hitting you could be tricky. That's why you may need to go into this talent here, which reduces, the pushback on your spells. But you can always use your Hajj, your Hammer of Justice, to kind of give yourself a chance. But we don't have improved Hammer of Justice, so the cooldown's not going to be as short as we would like. Yeah. One weakness of this build is if you have a melee hitting you in the face, it's going to be hard to get your healing spells off. So that'd be a real problem with this build. So I think you pretty much have to go into the reduced casting time. So instead of going doubling on these, you could do this. So you'd lose that on Divine Strength. You'd grab Spiritual Focus. And then you basically go and do the rest. So there you go. So now you have, you have a 70% chance not lose casting time when you take damage. So this is going to make it's going to be really difficult to kill you because you can cast Flash of Light and then you have a 100% chance that when you do cast Flash of Light, that your next or your Holy Light, when you cast Holy Light, your next Holy Light is going to be a reduction of 0.5 seconds, which is going to put it down to 2 seconds, which is pretty quick. And then you also have Divine Favor, which is going to make sure that it's crit. So, you're going to be able to get in like Holy Light spells to basically heal yourself up against melee. So it'd be very difficult for a melee character to kill you. Hopefully. I don't know. We'd have to try it out. But this is a build I really wanted to try out. This is something I should have, one thing I learned a long time ago is don't link the talent builds in talent trees. Just take a screenshot, man. Because those talent calculators break or they disappear. So let's go back to Project Epoch. We're going to go Paladin. We're just going to say Holy Rat build for PvP, right? And there it is. So yeah, on Project Epoch, I'd be really interested in trying out this build. I think that could be interesting. And unfortunately, these other builds that I built out looks like they're gone because they updated their talent calculator, so that kind of blows. So these are pretty much garbage. Let's delete that. Then you go back to Turtle WoW and you look at the Turtle WoW Holy Tree, and it just doesn't have the same type of, So I think that's the biggest difference for me when I look at Project Epoch is you're using the 3.3.5a client, but the talent trees are a lot more interesting. So if they do get Project Epoch launched pretty soon, I mean, I 100% will be playing it. I'm definitely going to be playing it. But I do want to play Turtle WoW too, so I think I'll end up playing both of them because I think they're both good projects. Um, this guy here was kicking my butt earlier. Let's see if he still kicks my butt. Look at the amount of damage this guy does.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
That guy hits so hard, man. Yeah. I'm not. I don't feel like that. I feel like these long snouts crush. I feel like I'm still excited. I kind of lost my excitement for Project Epoch, but until I looked at that talent calculator just now, like within the past 20 minutes, and that kind of reinvigorated me on why I was so excited about Project Epoch. Because to me, the most exciting thing about any MMO is really building your abilities of your character, like building interesting builds and trying different builds. I think that's the most fun part for me when I play MMOs. Is if the MMO has a really unique or really interesting like Rift had, or like Guild Wars 2 has it too, where you can do lots of variations and builds. That's the thing I like the most. So just looking at how Project Epoch's talent tree is a lot more diverse than Turtle WoW is what makes me, want to play it. It's what makes me excited. How much less damage this bear does than that damn long snout. I think Turtle WoW. One thing that I liked about Turtle WoW is they seem to have kept the difficulty of the original 1.12 game. Like if you play like classic WoW, it's way easier. Like when you kill mobs that are like one level higher than you in classic WoW, it's like you kill them with ease. But in Turtle WoW, if you go up against a couple mobs that are one level higher than you, they do a lot more damage. They hit a lot harder, and I think that's really cool. Right? I think that's great. And this guy's level 10, so he's one level higher than me. Let's see how much damage he does. I mean, look, he's doing some damage. Like, I have to probably heal here.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I probably don't have to, but I mean, look at that. I mean, he was doing some damage. Our first talent point. But when will Project Epoch launch? We already have set up we have already set up the new servers and begun the process of moving Epoch Core onto them, along with Ascension's performance fixes. Once that is completed, we will host a public stress test based on the results. We will either schedule another stress test, or we will schedule a date for launch, with the benefit not having to work around our Epoch staff's schedules because Ascension will be handling the servers. With infrastructure of our hands, the content team will work on resolving bugs, reporting the launch window, and some new surprises. Our heartfelt appreciation goes out to those in the community who are supportive of our efforts these last 2 weeks. We are excited to see you in Project Epoch's Azeroth as soon as possible. There was also something else. Our GitHub sponsors, players that earn beta pet will still receive those rewards. Our GitHub sponsors will become deprecated as of today. I'm not really sure what that means, deprecated. Previous sponsors, I guess what they're saying is only people who were sponsors of GitHub before yesterday will be immortalized in-game via a plaque within major faction capitals. So hopefully, I should have my own immortalized plaque since I'm a GitHub sponsor. You think so? Maybe it's just a bad memory? Maybe. Will I be immortalized? So when you see the name, what is my GitHub name? All right. So I'm Shady Heart. So my GitHub name, this is a GitHub account that I have, is Shady Heart. All right. So when you see the Shady Heart immortalized, you will know it's me. So let's see, Trinity Core. So I wonder what they're doing now. TS WoW, Trinity Core. Three days ago. 4 days ago. 1 month ago. Yeah, so I'm sure they're just moving all their code over to... I don't know what they're doing. Remember us? I don't know what they're going to do. No idea. I wonder if there's any other...
Project Epoch and Ascension merging. And no, this is not an April Fool's joke. Huge news. Just posted earlier today on both Project Epoch's and also Ascension's Discord. Here it is. I'm not making this up. I will not go through the entire announcement because it's super long, so if you want to read more about it, go on their Discord server or pause the video here. Basically, what you need to know is that it's still gonna be the same.
I've always liked this guy, Metrics, because he's like a no bullshit type of guy, streamer, so.
Project Epoch with the same features, but with Ascension.
You don't like? Oh, you don't like Metrics? I like Metrics. Dude, he's played tons of... Yeah, he's played all the versions. Oh, he doesn't like leveling? He's still a good guy, though. I've talked to him in private DMs. He's a good guy. Yeah, I don't think he's like the best leveling person, but he's a good PvPer. Like, he knows PvP and Wrath of the Lich King really well.
Infrastructure to withhold more players. But if you're tired of waiting, full launch soon. Full creative control, the necessary work to merge your accounts. And what...
Huge project announcement, Cianu, Big Musk. Project Epoch is saved, yeah.
Just as we thought it was all doom and gloom and over for Project Epoch, they have just announced a major...
Hey, yeah, this guy's a total... He's another Project Epoch, like, Andy.
...partnership with their good friends Ascension WoW.
With their good friends. With their good friends. Why are they good friends? How do you know they're good friends?
I say good friends because if we think back to not long ago, you'll remember the Epoch developers talking about getting assistance from some of the best minds in the WoW emulation scene.
Okay.
This basically confirms this was the Ascension team.
Yeah, this guy is he's a total Epoch Andy. He's the one that put the video out about, is Project Epoch better than Turtle WoW? And they like literally said like a minute in the video, it is. He didn't even get a chance. He didn't even go through the video and like kind of give his arguments as to why he thinks it is. He just basically said, you know,
all along. And you'll also note that Dutch, who is the team lead for Ascension, has been a member of Project Epoch since 2022. So it's not like they've suddenly came in offering to buy Epoch. They have been silently trying their best to assist with the Project Epoch launch and not get too heavily involved, but this seems to me like a plan B, and it allows the Epoch team to fully focus on the game. So before I read the full announcement, I'll briefly explain what...
Were you in the comments? Let's see, where's Daniel? Where are you at, Daniel? Are you in the comments section? Which one's you? Oh, here's... At this point, Epoch is the biggest joke for the past 20 years. I can't wait to buy my first stack of XP pots. Yep. It's a good one. We're ready to launch. Short while Ambershire it is then. Yep. This measure will make chat very entertaining to read. Have you guys gone to the Project Epoch Discord and seen how the chat's just like completely gone nuts, right? If you go to the Ascension Discord, right? And just go to the general section. It's like pretty much turned into another cesspool, just like we had in Project Epoch. Just nonstop nonsense. I mean, look at this crap. What is this crap? Who gives a shit? Like, people are just posting stupid images. I mean, it's so stupid. Are the children not at school or something? What the fuck? So basically, essentially, I got this for free because Epoch guys have no idea what they were doing. I'm so hyped about that news. The Epoch devs are amazing game designers and content creators. They are no network and server devs. Now they can focus on whatever they are best at. Saved, more like under new management. I'm ready for Ambershire. I don't recall them saying they wouldn't have. Okay, look. I don't recall them saying they wouldn't have a shop. I'm pretty sure they've been saying that they will have a shop for cosmetics. Yeah, they never really communicated on what if they were going to have like a merchandise shop. Like that was like not really communicated. So, but there was words that Magic was working on some sort of a website update that was going to have Project Epoch Gold, whatever that is. So they were definitely working on something.
What this means, Project Epoch will partner up with Ascension, which will allow the Epoch devs to fully focus on development of the game, and Ascension will have zero input in how the game is run. Epoch will move onto Ascension servers, and the account creation will merge. This means that the servers and accounts will be fully under Ascension's control. They will be responsible for account creation, meaning registrations will open up very, very soon.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Ascension has to get something for that. I mean, they're doing a lot of work. Ascension's taking over the whole Discord, all the crap and the really toxic community that Epoch had. All those people flooded now into Ascension, and then so now Ascension's managing the Discord. So it sounds like the Epoch devs don't even have to manage the release information. Like normally, if you run a private server, you're going to put out the post saying, "Hey, the server's up," or "The server's down," or "Hey, we've got a new patch coming out with new content." You know, all that kind of stuff, that kind of information. From what I gathered from the post from yesterday, they're not going to do any of that. Like they may create the information, but they're going to hand it off to somebody at Ascension to actually put it up on their Discord, right? So Ascension's going to be managing all the communications on the Discord about Project Epoch, and Ascension's going to manage the infrastructure, right? The servers and where the servers are hosted and probably paying for them. So that means to me that most likely Project Epoch's going to have some sort of cash, some sort of shop where they somehow make money, because that somehow they have to give, you know, Ascension didn't just say we're going to do this for free. My guess is most likely what they probably did is say, hey, we'll take over, you know, hosting and doing the Discord and all that, but we want like, you know, 50 or 60 or 70% of your cash shop money. Like they're asking, I guarantee you they're asking for a percentage of whatever money they make. I don't know if they're going to ask for a percentage of the supporters off their GitHub. I don't know, but they're definitely going to be asking for some sort of a cut of the money. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be doing this.
Soon, and they will spin up as many new servers as needed, so we all get to play the game without a queue.
That was the one thing that I did read in the comment that was a good thing, was saying that they would spin up as many servers as needed, because remember, Katos was always against bringing up more servers. which would have solved most of the issues they were having. If they just would have brought up like 4 servers, then most of the issues they were having would have just disappeared, right? So the fact that Ascension has the power and the money and the infrastructure to just say, oh, we'll just spin up, 5 servers, So that to me is a really good thing for Project Epoch, that they have that power. They can just spin up the servers really quickly. And they're not going to sit there and be like, oh, we're not going to do it. Like Katos was saying, oh, we don't want to spin up servers, A lot of the feelings I got about Katos was that they didn't want to do, like, all they wanted to do was develop the content. I never felt like they wanted to do any of the other stuff. I felt like they didn't want to manage the Discord server, because obviously you saw how badly the Discord server was managed. They didn't want to manage even their own website, because even after the launch failed, if you went to their website, all you saw was, hey, guess what? Project Epoch's coming out on the 17th. They didn't even update their original message saying when the launch of Epoch was once it failed. They never updated that. They never took it down. They just left it there. So they weren't updating their website. They weren't really doing much in the Discord. They were resistant to putting out more servers, So it just felt like, yeah, I've got this great server, this project that I'm working on for years, but all I really want to do is just work on that. I don't want to do anything else. So I mean, it is a good merger for them. Like, for them working with Ascension, I think is a good idea for them, as long as they keep all of the creative control under their own entity. Because if you let Project Ascension come in and start doing what they want to do, they're going to start adding all kinds of shit into the game. They're going to start monetizing. They're going to start putting all this crap in and XP pots and all kinds of stupid shit. And it's just going to completely ruin the project. Yeah, Brian, we don't know. Yeah, I mean, Brian, it could happen. That could happen. Ascension is the new owner. There is no other interpretation. Well, I don't. Well, we don't know about that. I mean, Nunya, they have said that Katos and his team have full creative control over what comes out on their server. So, yes, they own the infrastructure. So Ascension has the power, because Ascension's got their finger on the power button. You know what I mean? They can turn the servers off whenever they want. You know what I mean? So yeah, they have control, but it comes down to Katos and his ability to say no. You know what I mean? Like, if they might want to come and say, if you want us to keep hosting your servers, you have to do this and do this. And if he bows down and does that, then that's just the beginning of the end, I think. But if he says, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to take my ball and go home, then, we'll essentially turn around and say, okay, fine. They had a lot of content. They didn't know what to do about the crashes. Yeah, but Duskhaven I feel like Duskhaven wasn't really run by people that were very skilled in private server development. Because the quality of Duskhaven was much, much lower than Epoch. Yeah, but we don't know. The only thing I ever saw, again, don't buy into just everything you read on the internet. You realize that stuff you read on the internet isn't always true. The only concrete evidence we have, at least that I have seen, of anything that crashed the Project Epoch server, it was nothing. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any concrete evidence of anything that said that people couldn't play. All I saw was one staircase that was put in the ground too deep or reversed or something, and people couldn't walk down a staircase to turn in some quests. That's the only thing I saw concrete evidence of. Outside of that, it's all hearsay. I'm like Judge Judy, okay? You better prove it to me first. I'm not just going to sit here and believe everything everybody says because they say so. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice too, Brian. We have lots of issues with and I think it was funny. If you guys ever watch Barry Gaming, he actually also mentioned that, and he said he's one of the YouTubers that talks about Ascension that seems to have a level head and doesn't, he's not all buying into the copium and the opium, And he said he was surprised. He was like, he goes, yeah, you're putting in these new zones, but are they really tested? So he was really concerned that would cause issues. Yeah, that was a bad call. I agree. That was a bad call. Who is Niv? Realistic, what, 2 weeks, 7 a.m.? Yeah, I think so. I think 2 weeks is totally realistic. Here's the thing. Oh, you were talking about what the Niv guy and I got jumped for saying that they can't court. Oh, you talking about that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about that. You're talking about what with the Niv guy and I got jumped for saying that they can't go to court because it's an illegal server. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know who Niv is. I don't even know who that is. It's a delusion, Andy. But the one thing that I see all the time around Project Epoch is just a lot of people saying things and without any proof. You know, we get people saying, "This is why I think Project Epoch sold to Ascension." It's just people guessing. You know, so Nunya, you think it's not his ball anymore? I disagree with that. It's still his code. It's still his stuff. But once he puts it on their servers, how much power does he have to prevent them from? The interesting thing, Nunya, is that once he puts his code on their servers, they're going to have access to that code, right? And all they got to do is get a copy of it, right? Which I'm sure they will. Like Nunya, they can just get a copy of all the code that they've done and can go ahead and look at it and see what they like, what they don't like, and just steal it basically for their own purposes. You know what I mean? So, well, it feels like he doesn't have any power because, like I said, they've got their finger on the power button and they can turn off their server. So what they could do is they could bring in Project Epoch, right? They could host their server, right? They could host their code, their Azeroth core, whatever. And then they could let it run for like 6 months and see how much money are we making? Are we making a lot of money off of Project Epoch, right? And how much of a pain in the ass is it having to deal with Project Epoch? If it turns out that they're not making a lot of money or dealing with them is a pain, they've already got a copy of the code that K-Totes and his developers created, because you know they're going to have a copy of it because it's on their server, right? So they've already got a copy of the code. They can sever the relationship and say, you know what, we don't want to host your game anymore, right? We don't want to host your game anymore. And then they've got, remember, Ascension has a huge team. Ascension has a big team. So they could basically just end their agreement, take all their code, and just take what they like out of it and spin up an entirely new server, call it their own. You know what I mean? Call it their own. And what can K-Totes do? He can't really do much. What's he gonna do? Sue him? You can't sue him because it's illegal. It's illegal private. It's a legal code based off of, you don't have the rights really because it's copyright infringement at that point. You can't sue. I don't think you can sue. It's like me saying, it's like if somebody stole somebody's car and then I went and stole that car from them, and now they're trying to sue me saying I stole their car. If the car is already stolen, it's not their car, right? I can't sue someone for stealing my code when the code that I wrote was on a basis of code that I didn't own. It's owned by Blizzard Entertainment. You know what I mean? Exactly. You can't sue them. You can't. So, what's up, Lost? Oh, you lost power, Lost? You got jumped by the whole chat? Well, come on, people in the... Which chat were you in? Were you in like the Epoch chat? Don't even try to talk in the Epoch chat. That's like talking to a bunch of monkeys. Oh, no AC, no fans. Oh my god. Yeah, private servers are not legal. Bring up a World of Warcraft private server in the United States, it will get shut down instantly. Instantly. There was somebody who tried to bring up a private server in the US a couple years ago. It lasted for about 2 hours before it was shut down. Yeah, but who wants to play? Hey, 7 a.m. I don't want to play 6 months of Epoch. I don't want to play on Epoch if I know it's going to be shut down in 6 months. That's the thing. That's what I keep saying. I'm sick of bouncing around servers. I want to get in a server that I can play for 5 years, not 6 months. And I don't know if I agree with that fact because again, we don't know. It's 7 a.m. Here's the thing. Project Epoch's been around a long time. I've played in multiple betas of Project Epoch, and it always ran fine. I mean, there was one time when I guess it didn't run well because I looked at my old chat message with Magic, and I was saying the server ran like shit. So obviously it was running like shit on one of the beta tests I was in. But what I'm saying is it's been around a long time. So if it was just a skill set thing, if they could get a couple of the right people on their team who have the right knowledge for basically the more of the networking and ways to optimize it so that more connections could work, then yeah, they could have put it out. So we can't say for sure that K-Totes and his team couldn't have couldn't have put out a working version. I mean, we all logged into Epoch last Friday, right? I logged in and servers ran fine. There were like 5,000 people in the server, and there was no lag whatsoever. Supposedly, the only reason they brought it down is because there was a total screw up on some of maybe the new zones or some of the new content was messed up in like the dwarf and gnome areas or something. But like in the night elf area, everything was 100% fine. So yeah, we don't know if it's 6 months. Of course, we don't know. We have no idea. We don't. It could be run. That's the thing with private servers too, though. That's the thing about Turtle WoW that's appealing to a lot of people. Is Turtle WoW has been around for like 10 years, so you feel like if you go play Turtle WoW, it's not going anywhere. Like if I go play on Ambershire, I have a lot more comfy, cozy feelings about the fact that Ambershire is not going to go anywhere. But if I go play on Epoch servers, I don't have that feeling. I feel like it could be shut down at any moment. Yeah. You think Ascension and Dutch more likely do? They deal with brokered 1,000% favors. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, yes, Valis, you're 100% correct. I see some people are okay with jumping on a private server and playing for a few months. But those people probably haven't been around playing World of Warcraft since 2004 like I have. You know, I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. I used to work at Blizzard for 7 years. I'm a first, second generation Blizzard employee. All right, I got to go back to work. I think my lunch break's over. Let me check. Yeah, my lunch break is over, guys. I got to go back to work. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Catnip? OMS LOL? You quit 12 for 12 year and came back and everything was still there? Yeah, yeah. But I'll see you guys later. If I stream tonight, it'll be late because I got to help my wife with some stuff. We're either going to go to the grocery store or I got to do some yard work. I might have to mow the yard or something. I got house stuff to do. Yep. Enjoy the day, everybody. I'll catch you later, man. Peace out.